631-359-8281 and please feel indicated as you just dial a number to listen to our 106 FM. You can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch both sides of the story live on the Dervan Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106 at live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876-365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as possible. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106. I saw my land in the morning, and oh, but she was fair. The hills flamed upwards, scorning death and failure here. I saw through the mists of morning a wave like a sea set free, faith to the dawn returning, dark tide, bright unity. I saw my friends in the morning. They called from an equal gate. Build now whilst time is burning. Forward before it's late. The old gods awake. Past and future break. On as the voices roll. Move as a single whole. Forward, 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 O country, to your goal. Maybe you can't see my you can't see my dream. I'm sure for something. I have a dream. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the fifth day of the seventh month of 2024. Put another way, it's the fifth day of the second month of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. And we have a copy of today's local forecast, just so that you can be kept updated on further developments. So there's a significant feature, a tropical wave just east of Jamaica. The tropical wave is expected to move across Jamaica later today and should be west of the island by Saturday. The tropical wave is producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms as it moves across the central Caribbean and is expected to influence unstable weather across the island throughout this period. Furthermore, due to the recent rainfall from Hurricane Beryl and the resulting ground saturation, flooding, and landslides are very likely. Additionally, increasingly windy conditions are expected to begin on Saturday due to the presence of a low-level jet stream. The forecast for the rest of this afternoon, it will become cloudy with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms across sections of most parishes. It will be windy along the coastal areas, and tonight, isolated showers, especially across sections of southern and northeastern parishes, otherwise mostly cloudy. So that's what we have to share with you for now. In the meantime, we welcome you in a very special way on this very special day as we continue with both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM on this Friday, the 5th of July 2024. And we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. And so we continue to take your calls here on your program, both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and still entreating you and encouraging you to share with us anything that you think is out of line or otherwise um, not right. Feel free to share. We want to see how much we can learn from these situations so that they're either not repeated or are, in fact, minimized. So and if there are such issues on your end, please feel free to share with us so we can make the adjustments where necessary. So the lines are open to you, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us via WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And we want to also share with you a couple nuggets of history as well. On this day in 1819, Simon Bolivar proclaimed Colombia a republic. Simon Bolivar, the liberator of Spanish Central America, came to Jamaica on the 10th of September 1815. Simon Bolivar came to Jamaica as a political refugee and remained for about 7 months. The Duke of Manchester entertained him in what was also the year of the Battle of Waterloo. The Duke of Manchester was Jamaica's longest-serving governor. He spent 17 years in office, and the parish of Manchester, which was established on the 13th of December 1814, was named in honor of the Duke of Manchester. More in a moment.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session, hour 106. You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
no long way to Kingston, Washington. Kingston, don't go look at anything. Easy and fast and safe. I'm a fest of clearing the marriage without dedication. Click and collect online. When sending from foreign to yard. Sign up today and from abroad. You can manage clearance and pay online. Your loved one just has to collect it. Easy. Sign up, you click quickly, you got it. Sign up, you click quickly, you got it. For more information, WhatsApp 876-577-8905. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is reminding the public to take the following precautionary measures as we prepare for a hurricane. Make sure you have emergency equipment in your home. These include water boots, raincoats, flashlights, batteries, a portable radio, kerosene lamps, and matches. Ensure that all important documents are secured in plastic bags or waterproof containers. The public is being asked to continue to monitor the media space for further advisories and to take the necessary safety precautions as issued by the RPM, Meteorological Service of Jamaica, and the Jamaica Information Service.
To get back to Simon Bolivar, August 25, 1955, the Bolivar Society of Jamaica, which intended to erect a bust of Simon Bolivar, the great South American liberator, asked the mayor and councillor of the KSAC to name an area of the thoroughfare southeast of the King George VI Memorial Park, Bolivar Place. King George VI Memorial Park is now National Heroes Park, and Bolivar Place did in fact materialize. A monument to Simon Bolivar can be seen at the southern end of National Heroes Circle in Kingston, in front of the Ministry of Education. So Simon Bolivar was active in the struggle to free the Spanish American colonies from Spanish rule and came to Jamaica to seek help from the British. He lived in Kingston from May to this day in 1815, when he fled Jamaica after narrowly escaping assassination during the night while he was away from the house he lived in at the corner of Princess and Tar Streets in downtown Kingston. Uh, I think eventually was it RBC and RBT who occupied that location. But apparently, Spanish agents bribed Simon Bolivar's freed slave called Pia, Pia. In fact, the following day, December 31st, 1815, Pia was arrested, tried, and hanged at the Kingston Parade Square, now known as St. William Grant Park, in the heart of downtown Kingston. Pia apparently stabbed a man who was sleeping in Simon Bolivar's hammock on this day in 1815. Pia was paid to assassinate Simon Bolivar, but killed the wrong man. Apart from being hanged December 31st, 1815, I don't think we'll go much further than that because of the graphic nature of the rest of it. But long and short of it is that yeah, it was a terrible, terrible death. That's what we can say. So one last word on Simon Bolivar, who fled Jamaica after that failed assassination attempt on this day in 1815. During his time here in Jamaica, he wrote his famous Jamaica letter, Carta de Jamaica, Carta de Jamaica, which is still regarded as one of the greatest documents of his career. The letter is dated September 6, 1815. In it, Simon Bolivar cautions, do not adopt the best system of government, but the one that is most likely to succeed. I repeat, Simon Bolivar cautions us by saying, do not adopt the best system of government, but the one that is most likely to succeed. Hope you got that. Thank you very much for your indulgence as we continue with more here on both sides of the story. Driver in America, if you're out there, we're here. And we look forward to hearing from you. You seem to have been ahead of the race, so to speak, in terms of connecting. So whenever you're ready, feel free to connect, or as the case is, reconnect having been connected today. So the lines are still open, 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. We salute the members of the Salvation Army as well on their work, the work that they continue to do. In fact, in 1865, in the East End of London, revivalist preacher William Booth and his wife Catherine established the Christian mission, later known as the Salvation Army. Determined to wage war against the evils of poverty and religious indifference with military efficiency, Booth modeled his Methodist sect after the British Army, labeling uniformed ministers as officers and new members as recruits. 22 years later, on December 15, 1887, Colonel and Mrs. Abram Davies, their 5 children, and Captain Mark Saunders, who was blind, arrived in Jamaica from England and officially started the Salvation Army on the lawns of the Myrtle Bank Hotel in Kingston. And what used to be Myrtle Bank, I believe, is where the stock exchange is located right now. So, a bit more of the history for you. And we continue to take messages and your calls. Those messages, 876-365-3346. That's where to send them, 876-365-3346. And the regular call-in lines, 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Usually in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Now, he is right now, although he should be back here in Jamaica. He says, Mr. Malcolm, I am happy to hear the good news that is coming out of Jamaica. Let us continue to give thanks to God for being with us. Blessings to all. Thank you very much for your message, Verol from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And right now, here comes Driver in America. Well, I think he might very well be in Jamaica. Driver, good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Brother Dervan. How is everything?
We're giving thanks as usual, and you?
I'm good, thanks. Just a bit, Brother Dervan, more than a bit concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I
We really want to hear you, but there are some twists and turns in the line. And we know why, because of what has happened over the last few days. So it's understandably so. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'm concerned, very concerned, because the more I hear, the more I realize that the first stock in Jamaica has been really devastated by burial. I was listening to the news today. Grace Kennedy and St. Elizabeth, some operations there, there's some packing and stuff like that. Has been interrupted, and the farmers St. Mary, all the banana gone, and it's not how would I say, the real impact of what is to come has not, we're not recognizing it. There's going to be a serious food shortage in Jamaica, Brother Dervan.
Yes, we've been hearing that for a little while now, and all this time just trusting that action is being taken behind the scenes, at least to make sure that. But we
There's
will.
no, they can't do anything, brother Dervan. No action, you know what I mean? It's just gonna hit.
Mm,
And as much as I'm against the importation thing,
mhm,
but and that is gonna take a while to come in.
mhm.
For the situation to be mitigated. So
What do we do in the meantime? What
oh,
what 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 would you say we do in the meantime?
there's nothing we can do, brother Duran. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And it's just a matter of that, working its way into the system now. Whatever is there
Mhm.
is what is being utilized now.
Yes.
But looking at next week going forward,
Mhm.
it's looking dire. And I'm concerned. I'm rather concerned. There's still a lot of people. I was listening to the news, and Digital is saying like they've restored about 60% of the service and stuff. There are a lot of people that I can't even hear from. You know what I mean? Because there are people, rural people who and it's not even people rural. A lot of people, their phones are just charging. I heard about a young man in Black River. Is it Black River? Somewhere. And he's charging like $100. He has his solar and generator and stuff, $100 for people to charge their phone. And there are not many of these people around. There's a real, this thing has, it's, it's working, it hasn't worked its way into the system yet, the true impact of peril. It has
Mm.
not, and that is what I'm worried about. Really worried about
So
it, brother
something is
Dervan.
like something is likely to hit us before we know what is happening, eh? Sounds like that.
And that is what I am
Dreading.
concerned about because yes, dreading it indeed.
Mhm.
That is even more than just saying concern because it is the other shoe is gonna fall.
Mhm.
Often we and like there's nothing we can do whether we see it or not coming. It's
Mhm.
just gonna come, and that you've heard the reports, right, about all the damage to all of the crops
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And with the run on the supermarkets over the weekend, people talking about shelves being empty and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I don't know what kind of contingency can be put in place, but we really need to get some containers of food and stuff like that. You know, we have to get things. You're speaking about the Salvation Army right now.
Mhm.
That is a kind of, it's a real disaster that hit just the other day.
Yeah.
And it's not being realized yet. I'm not being alarmist or anything. I'm
No, man.
just
Express
looking
yourself.
at everything.
Express yourself. Hold a moment, please. One moment.
Yes, sir. Okay.
106 FM. The time is now 2:30. Presenting another finalist in the 2024 Jamaica Festival Song Competition. Worldwide Jamaica, it's your boy Casey Donaldson. The title of my song is Sweet Jamaica. Everybody wants to yeah. With the food and the ear hot. Oh, Mama, you know, number one in the world. We are sweet, sweet Jamaica. We have to spread food that Jamaica Festival 2024. We grew up and see my granny save our money under our mattress. But at our own time, something. That's where I save my money in the bank. And become a man, buy a little house, but also save in a building society. We have to be smart. We always save our money. So, what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where GDIC comes in. Look, I tell you so. With the GDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information. GDIC, protecting deposits for you and me. Sing it with me. Oh, my dream come true. From me and for you. Dream, the impossible dream.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Online, we have the illustrious and compassionate driver in America sharing his thoughts with us right here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Thank you for holding. Please continue.
After Robert in spear, I said, "There's a thing I never get sweated." Thank you for your compliments, sir. And
Uh-oh.
It was such a joy being together. Yes, Mr. Garwood, blessings to you. And I don't know how your farming and thing is up in your area there, but and I about it, I'm asking people in the know, farmers especially, if you could just call in to give us, call into the show to give us an idea of what the lay of the land is, how it looks going forward. This, okay, this weekend, the market, the people, the traders and stuff, they have their stock most likely. But how does it look going into next week and the week beyond that in terms of produce being available? And if anyone in the know out there could call in and just let us know what the real deal is, how it looks, how the crops, how it looks.
How's the market? That's the question.
Yeah. Yes. What's on? Yes. I envision some real challenges coming. And the ironic thing is that it is the first, and it's early in the hurricane season. So, I was really shocked that the impact was so great.
The impact was so, say that again, please.
Was so great on the agricultural sector. And don't want to say caught us flat-footed or anything like that, but I don't know. And even
the hurricane. So sorry,
rather than waiting on. Yes, I know it's a bad connection.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to just one option? One option is always to hang up and call back. Invariably.
Call back. Yeah. I will give it a try if you don't. I will try that.
Please. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So driver is going to be calling us back in a little while. But obviously all this is the system in its entirety has not been totally mended or fully repaired or restored. So there is quite a bit of work to be done. We trust that it will be done and be of such quality that it will be most noticeable. Yes. Thank you for your patience, driver. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, is this any better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I changed, my headset, and was just hoping that would make a difference. But yes, I was listening to Sir Leonard Fulton
Mhm.
on I don't remember which show it was, and he was talking about like say even in Trelawney he hasn't been able to get in touch with the farming, the agricultural people over there, the agricultural sector to find out what was going on, and these are concerning. Everything I'm hearing is quite concerning, brother, and that is what I just want our people to, not wait until it hits, but start making contingency plans,
Mhm.
especially, for the young. Because believe it or not, brother Dervan, there are a lot of children in Jamaica who are, what do they call it? Food poor or something like that, who are challenged.
Mhm.
Their dietary needs and stuff like that. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And it was so before this. So, I'm just wondering, and hoping that, people are looking beyond the present, really looking at all the dimensions of
Yeah.
what we just went through and
Mm.
getting ready for it. Because we hear the reports, but I just dread that it is many times worse than what we're envisioning it to be. And at the same time, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it's just pointing in that direction.
So you are referring there to what is
So,
called child food poverty, as designated by
exactly.
UNICEF. Mm.
Child food poverty.
That's
Yes,
it.
there's a lot of that in Jamaica.
And the world, because this information I'm looking at says globally 478 million children under 5 are experiencing food poverty in early childhood, of whom
And
202
it
million.
goes into education because these children, they can't learn.
Mhm.
And a lot of wow, land of food and water. What I mean? We should have been, we should, and these are the things we speak about in times prior to this, brother, and having, and brother Fulton
Mhm.
and other people having stores, having, storehouses, things like that, the government functioning on that level. But as someone pointed out today, they were speaking of, and I don't remember exactly, but the risk associated with agriculture is one that the government doesn't really want to take on, which
Mhm.
is why you have more lip service than you actually have investments in the things that are suggested.
Mhm.
Warehouses, freezer houses that farmers can avail themselves, go pay rent, have your stuff, stored.
Mhm.
Because a great part, a lot of our produce, I think it's like even 30-40% of our produce is wasted and doesn't even make it to market
Mhm.
in the harvest, because we don't
Yes.
have
Yeah, we don't have.
storage.
Well, we do have some of our people in the farm on the farm work program who, for example, have to be trained to pick apples,
Hmm.
and it's not a grab down and drop in the basket. You have to
No.
keep the stem, make sure that the stem survives.
And even we do that, like you pull your cassava and even your banana, if you notice, you chop it, you leave because there's still nutrients in
Mm.
the stems,
Mhm.
you know, to feed the fruit, because you need it's a type of preservation of the product
Mhm.
beyond harvest, even if it's a day or two beyond that, But it's skilled labor. When I talk about people think, oh, you
Mhm.
just get a man and send it, which I've experienced that. I planted some potatoes and some people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. And God, they ravaged it, you know.
Mhm. Wow.
They didn't understand, and I at the time was learning because I was just here and heard Brother Hutchinson when he was Minister of Agriculture saying, ah, the Irish Potato Project.
Yes.
And I got all excited about it and came to Jamaica and jumped out, bought planting stuff and plow land, planted. No one in my area in Santa Cruz knew. The elders will tell you, the few that are left, nobody ever grows Irish potato in Santa Cruz other than me.
Are you serious?
And these are people. Serious, sir.
Mm.
Mr. Samuel, that Rada and all, when he was, you can ask all these people. Nobody ever did. I didn't even know.
Mm.
I just came and probably, God is so good that when I did it in November, we planted it and then there was a young man. I would have to look into the phone. I haven't been in contact with him, but his name is still in there somewhere. I don't remember his name, but right offhand. And he was out of Lacovia, and he was working with a Canadian agency that was helping farmers in the Newmarket area. That is the Irish potato area in the hills, at higher altitude.
Mhm.
And he was working with them, and this agency would help the farmers to buy planting material, fertilizer, that kind of stuff they'd plant it, and then they'd sell it to them at a price that was way low at the time. But nonetheless, we jumped ahead and we were doing what we were doing, planted everything, and he heard about it, came, I heard him at the gate and said he was having workshops. We went with them to Trelawney and St. Mary, and when we saw how they did it and what was being recommended, the two guys and myself who were, you know, at the forefront of this, looked at each other and said, we didn't do anything like that. We just planted, no chemicals, no nothing. We weren't spraying at nothing like what they recommended. And it took a while for it to, as we later learned the terminology, it took a while for them to buy. Because we were concerned and we said, what's going on? And I was calling all around Newport First Sound, if I might call their name on the radio station, Mr.
Sure, they're
Henry.
they're one of the biggest sponsors in the Farm Talk program.
Okay, great. So eventually, we were trying to get planting material and stuff like that. And shelving up in Newmarket, yes, we got seeds, as they call them, potato seeds from him. But we knew nothing. You were supposed to put them out and let them start sprouting, and then you plant them. We just planted them, but that is so good. So eventually, I was referred to Mr. Henry on the phone. Mr. Henry, bless up, and thank you for your work in the agricultural sector. And he was the specialist, you know. And Mr. Henry told me that at this time of the year, which it was November then, first of all, Mr. Henry, you know, it was so amusing. Mr. Henry said, I'm going to plant potato from my idea, my knee. And this time of the year, which was November,
Hold on, let's come back to
I
the
thought,
November story in just a moment. One moment, please.
okay, so
Six FM. The time is now
2:45. I want to tell the farmers about the digital foundation. It not only help me as a farmer, but it help my entire community with farming. I want you to know that they have a new thing coming out called the 20 for 20 for 20 grants. If you're a registered community organization with disabilities, schools, even farmers, you need to apply for the grant at the Digital Foundation.org.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and let's rejoin Driver in America further to the conversation. Oh, you're here. Oh, no. Okay, okay. All right, so please pick up the story. We were at November.
Stated his credentials from he has been planting Irish potato. And that time of the year, you can plant it anywhere in Jamaica. Because the key is the nighttime temperature and the daytime temperature has to be within a certain range. So at that time of the year, it was within that range. So he said, at that time of the year, you can plant it anywhere in Jamaica. And he was so right. The yield that we got, and then on top of it, that we didn't use all the chemical and this and that and stuff. It was organic. They were so dense when you hold it in your hand. Believe me, it could hurt somebody if you hit them with it. The yield was so good, and God is so great. And on the other side of it now, we plowed out more land and it was expensive. So the same people from Newmarket who were helping us brought the slip, what you plant to the sweet potato, brought some down and we planted out the rest of the land with that. So we had an excellent yield of sweet potato and Irish potato. But the people who harvested it didn't know what they were doing. So they just pulled everything up rather than I forgot the terminology, but it's like you feel you harvest it by feeling, and what is ready you take it out, but you leave because they're coming in different stages. So when you plant it, you can have up to 3 different harvests if you're lucky, maybe even 4 out of the same planting. But they just pulled everything up. When they felt a big one, they just pulled the whole thing up. So, we learned that way. But I more or less go to that to indicate that it's skilled labor.
Yes, it is.
When you see the person out there, yeah, they're dirty and this and that because they're in the dirt. But these are technicians.
Mm-hmm.
The people who put food on your table, they're skilled labor. Don't ever look down at them. And the culture in agriculture is what is disappearing. Yes, not everybody is going to go to case and places like that. And the young people who are still learning from the elders and holding the order. I was passing through Elderslie one time up in St. Elizabeth where they have the dasheen and the pineapple and the stuff like that. Mm. And you ever been up that way, Brother Dervan?
Where is this?
Elderslie, St. Elizabeth. Elderslie, Niagara, going up to Maroon Town that way.
Oh, okay. St. Elizabeth. Yes, at some point or another, I have traveled that area.
It's mountainous, and when you look at the fields, it's like you can't just look. It's so panoramic,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was up on the road, and I came out. The fields were so beautiful, and I looked down, and I wish I had my phone at hand to just video. Even the video wouldn't do it justice. There were the elders, with their machete, their water boot, their bag over their shoulder. But don't let that fool you. No greenhouse man couldn't touch them. They had fields that stretched off into the valley, acres and acres. And they were coming in like it was a lunchtime. Well, when the sun gets hot, the farmers, they end very early. You go out early and you come in because when the sun stand up, You can't be out here like, and they were coming in. And the older men were in front. And behind them, it's like by age, it looked like. And then at the back, you had like the teenagers. And everybody, they had the same implements. And they were, well, it's like so mountainous. So everybody's walking on a track. So it's like a line of males.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that in my head. And where I had stopped, it turns out they came right up there, and it's like that yard was like a headquarters, you know. And yeah, they came in, and everybody they sat and they were talking. They gave me dasheen sucker, pineapple sucker, and all that and stuff. And I say that to say there are people who still hold the order, and I salute you. You know, these people. They're the unsung heroes. And I pray that for those who lost their crops, that you will have, you know, and I don't even have it that you will. You've endured challenges before, I know. And you will plant again, and you will come again. And farmers are some of the most religious people, I'll tell you, in what spiritual. Somebody corrected me the other day. Spiritual people. I know. Because when you're out there, you have to believe in something to put that plant in the ground or that planting material in the ground and know that it will come.
Mm-hmm.
Have faith that it will come.
Faith is taking the first step without even seeing a staircase. Martin
Thank
Luther
you.
King Jr.
Well put, indeed, sir. Well put. And despite setbacks, they will come again. But the unfortunate thing is that time interval. It's not instant. So, you know, those who sustain the damages, like the banana, if they plant tomorrow, it's 8 more months before you have that harvest. God's willing.
Yeah.
So that is another challenge we have. You know, that the farmers are few and far between. Yes, you know, we have those who aspire to engage in the modern farming. But the other aspect of that is it's expensive. A greenhouse on the news, you heard how many of them were destroyed, Brother Dervan.
Yes.
On the midday news.
Terrible.
Those expenses, I don't know how many of them have. You talk of crop insurance. That's another thing. The farmer has to believe, has to have faith.
Yeah.
Because these are the things that you're up against. And it is so easy to go to the market and say, how much for that? How much for that? When you go and you don't see anything to ask how much for it, it's going to be another issue.
Yeah.
And that is what I see coming. And then what is available is going to be so expensive. And another thing, Brother Fulton warned about is like critical loss, and it goes up in these times because, you know, people go and
desperation.
No, their fields are devastated and people take advantage and, you know.
Oh, okay.
As he said, you go see a lot of people in market who we never see before. And he asked the constabulary to, it's a time to stop every vehicle they see with products and demand the proper receipts and stuff like that. But all of this to say, Brother Dervan, that it's a challenging time and the real impact has not been realized as yet. And as old people tell us, take sleep, mark the death. It has been spoken regularly that we don't have, as a nation, a sound agricultural policy. And rather than having this competition or whatever it is among the rather the JAS, and so we're too small for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's petty. All hands on board.
Mm-hmm.
Put
Yeah.
Jamaica first, and let us get our agricultural sector together, because we cannot sustain another blow to the sector and not be prepared. Right now, the real impact has not been felt as yet, but it's a wake up call. And we really have to get serious about this and partisan, and so we don't have that luxury, Jamaica. We
No.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that luxury, especially in these times. These times will reveal the truth.
Yeah.
And I want us as a nation to learn from the truth that will be coming soon and very soon.
Yeah.
So that's basically my contribution right now, Brother Dervan.
Yes.
And to the farmers who have been impacted so greatly, we hold you in our prayers. We appreciate you. We salute you. Don't believe that your labor out there is unrecognized
Mm-hmm.
in that sun and the soil.
Yes.
You're greatly appreciated. And we salute you for the real technicians that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And to the young people, it is a noble endeavor. Do not shy away from it. It's not glamorous,
Mm-hmm.
but who? Like Fitzroy, the coconut man, the hand cat man. Yes, it's a song, Brother Dervan. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when you come with I have your money, you're glamorous. So don't feel no way about it, you know. Brother Dervan, one love, Jamaica. You know, my love for you is beyond
Timeless.
measure. Yes, and I pray, like, man, brother, man, I just want my country to be what it, you know, what it can be, to actualize.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep getting in our own way.
Yeah.
And one thing before I go, I meant to comment on it last time you played. The singer is Simon, what's his name, Burke?
Solomon Burke.
Solomon Burke.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say my father's favorite, but one of his favorite singers. He used to always try and
Imitate him.
sing like it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Benton is his name. And I don't know if you're familiar with him, but if you ever
Yes.
have the chance to give him a listen,
Mm-hmm.
especially one called The Same One. My father used to sing that to death. But I hear his voice. I love the songs that you introduced me to him, and the songs that you select, you know, his songs that you select are beautiful. The one that you're playing right now is soothing and quite timely, and I'm sure you, you don't idly select the songs you play. So I'm enjoying it, and the message therein is quite timely and hopefully as comforting to your other listeners as it is to me in this time as we assess the damage that Beryl has done to us and pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and start all over again. One love, Brother Dervan. A good weekend to all.
You too. Take care. Thanks for the call. All the best.
My pleasure. And thank you for affording me the opportunity to express my feelings.
You're welcome.
Blessings.
Bye bye.
Okay, sir.
Take care.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Words of freedom, liberty stands out in my soul and my mind. Tears come to my eyes. Just is a blind. Oh, I have a dream that someday we'll all walk hand in hand. I have a dream that someday for our children this will be a better. I mean, if you can't see my meaning, you can't see.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. There's an inquiry here. Let's see. Someone is checking. Blessings, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Just checking. Are there flights going and coming to Jamaica? Well, our understanding is that the Jamaican airports were set to reopen on the 5th of July. Today is the 5th of July. I would imagine the necessary arrangements are in place and those flights will in fact take off, but all other things being equal. So let's see how that goes. So we did get that information that Jamaican airports are set to reopen on the 5th of July. That's today. And if and when we have other information or further details, we will let you know. Thank you very much. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Audrey Smith says, afternoon, Dervan and listeners tuning in from Southampton. Hi, Audrey Smith. Joan Edgehill says, blessings, Dervan. Thank blessings, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Just checking. Well, I read that one already. Valerie Weller Peck, good afternoon to you too. Joan Edgehill says, blessings, Dervan. Thank God that things were not worse. God bless. Dean Thompson says, blessings, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Just checking. Well, he's still checking on the flights. That's what he was doing. Herman Bowie Bailey says, hello, Mr. Malcolm. How are you and listeners? God is good to Jamaica and Jamaicans in spite of everything. Have to give him praise. Hello to everyone in Ocho Rios, especially my families and friends. Thank you for your message. Please continue to be safe. Earl Allen says, hello, Brother Dervan Malcolm. Please, if you could send a birthday shout out to Shamario Allen, a.k.a. Salah Sunrise. Bless up yourself, my grand youth. Brother Dervan, big up yourself to my general. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Sandra Christie Brown says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan. Good afternoon to you, Sandra Christie Brown. Derek Morgan says, greetings to all. Still praying for my island. This is a golden opportunity to come together as one to rebuild, clean up, and restore our island. Zero time to score political points. Finally, Mr. D, can I send a birthday shout out to Simone Goodison? Today is her birthday. Thank you. Well, you just did. You're welcome. Thank you for your message. Steve McDonald in Toronto, Ontario, Canada says, "Greetings, Dervan. I gather that most of Westmoreland, except from Negril, is without electricity." Uh, that might very well be so. I can't speak for that area because I'm not there and don't know have no information to be able to share, to go any further, quite frankly. And Steve says, "I see the PM went to St. Elizabeth but did not visit Westmoreland. I'm not sure." Where's the rest of the message? I'm not sure why he did not visit Westmoreland, considering how close he was. Not sure if the helicopter didn't have enough gas, but gas stations are open in Sainty. It appears that Westmoreland is becoming the forgotten parish, says Steve. Dr. Trevor Dixon, founder of Jaja Foundation, and he says, "Greetings from New York, praying and willing to assist our beautiful brothers and sisters living in Jamaica." Thank you very much, Dr. Trevor Dixon, emergency medicine physician at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx in New York. I think those are the messages for the time being. And so we'll pause there for a moment and then we go over to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. We have a caller on hold. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Do you have a car, Dervan?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever get a puncher in a spot and you know, so you can't stop and fix it there? What do you have to do?
Try and find a couple of solutions depending on what is available in that car at any given time. Assuming you have a spare, that would be a good place to start. So it's as long as you have some tool or another, some backup or another to give yourself yes, sorry, go ahead.
But Dervan, at where you get the puncher and realize that the flat you can't stop car there's imminent danger. So what you'll have to do?
Be prepared for the danger itself as well.
Remit, Dervan, remit.
I know that's what you're talking about.
Yes, Dervan. So you're afraid of the remit?
No, I mean that happens invariably to motorists, where you have to just keep going and trust that your timing and the space difference, the travel difference between that timing, your timing and getting to a particular spot is critical. So if you have to do that, you have to do it. Might cost you a tire, but might have saved you as well.
And Dervan, my next analogy, I am not going to allow you, but because I know that maybe you are not acquainted with the ghetto situation, but in the ghetto we have some fence in the van, and the fence them is so rickety that we have to use a piece of thing and put behind it. So we call it, we catch it up. So me I gonna use them two analogy there. So Dervan, you say after burial, we get to find out, say, as we speak, and even before Jamaica run pan rim, our beloved country run pan rim, and it barely catch up, because if Beryl not even looking, him or she no looking, you know, and speaking about Beryl, that hurricane do even looking, I just on the outskirt it there, and look at the damage. And speaking about the damage, you know, Dervan, monopolization have taken our country to destitution, because little Cayman was also visited by Beryl, and we have heard that Cayman is up and running. Cayman is up and running, and our utility companies, company, because of monopoly, and I'm not speaking about one party. I am speaking about how politicians have angered our country and the economy by monopolizing our utility company. And in a time like this, where we have hearing that the JPS is only able to cover just 80,000 of our customer up to this morning. I don't know about since this afternoon, but 80,000 is about 20%, you know, Dervan, and maybe that 20% is just in Kingston, yeah, and Digicel and Flow is just I'm just mimicking around and speaking a lot of foolishness. And we, the Jamaican people, is suffering. And this hurricane don't come that devastated. I know that plenty people was impacted, you know, but we have not gotten a direct hit. But imagine if it was like that. It's time now that these politicians must know that
Hold on, please. One moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 3:15. Help us. You can't see my dream. I'm sure someday you'll understand.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yeah, it is time now that these politicians know that running a country is business, and monopolization and cronyism and corruption cannot do it, and that is the way out. We have a free market economy, and we should study and know that the market is for a variety of investor. If take for instance, JPS is saying that to bury the cables instead of going and poles is 6 to 7 times more expensive. But that would be a good investment going forward. But if JPS is not willing to do it, find a next company that is willing and able. That when we have these things like storm and hurricane, we can recover fast, and we have more telecommunication company that use satellites and more fiber optic instead of putting things on light and light posts. It is time now for we to step forward now. We are just lagging behind, lagging and make us becoming the laughing stock of the world and the lesser Caribbean. It is far ahead of us. Barbados, and I guess I'll eat it too. Although we are touting it as being worse, but maybe they are ahead of us in certain aspects. Yeah. I am telling you, Dervan, if we Jamaican do not make a positive change, especially in this coming year, we are going to suffer more, because up to Wednesday evening, people were able to go in Sunday Gully and still picking mango and ackee. In Sunday Gully is like a forest, and that bridge in Harborview, where in Ivan, the amount of debris that flew in that gully behind the Donald Quarry School. It also helped took away the bridge, and that gully also is like a mini forest. We got to do better. It is just not our fault that burial catch us off guard, but it just show we up say the country are run like chopper country thing.
Can't join you in that one. Next one.
Huh?
Can't join you in that one. Next one.
Well, the van
We're not into
me have to say,
we're not into the chopping
you know.
business. No chopping. No chopping around here.
so so the van and you extend the help to I'm the one in this hurricane. The aftermath.
Well, I visited one particular area, a vast area, which is quite hilly, and I was amazed at the general conditions, the road. Uh, I don't know. I don't know for how long we can sustain this, but we need to find some more sustainable, some more long-lasting fixes. Otherwise, we're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it's something we need to seriously zone in on, because we don't have the kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
And Dervan, the funniest thing is when these people visit, you know, these people in the aftermath. Them just go and we just promise them use them imagination and say them I go buck up and destitute people and hungry kids and so carry some stuff, no man. If even you do it, in your way by visiting your side of the political line. Bring even a little half chuck of food and go issue, no man, water and thing. But to just go for just look what go on and promise and I say boy wait till assessment and thing, and then your ears say me give Miss Brown 100,000. 100,000 can build back life. 100,000 can build house. 100,000 can build roof. Can fix back people life. Eh? And you have NGOs, single people are come in at this country and a build two bedroom house. I give people free. Foreigner I come and I build house and I give people free.
So,
no,
so
man.
what are the changes you would like to see in that regard?
Dervan, the changes that I would like to see is that the Constitution is there with recall as one of the number one tool.
Mm-hmm. So if they don't function as they should, you call them in. Mm-hmm.
That is what I would like, Dervan. As long as we have that, those two pieces of tool and teach the Jamaican people about those two pieces. Recall, because each member of parliament should go into that house and only think of their constituency only if we have each member of parliament going into each time in that house and speak about the wants and the needs of his or her constituency, it lead up to a more better we, because them no say if them not perform the recall method is there. The recall method is there. It is not just by ballot alone whereby you can do bogus voting or come and buy out vote. The recall is there. So even the young and the old can push that button.
And you also mentioned impeachment. That's another one, right?
Impeachment. When we have president or
go ahead,
prime minister who do not hold up to high standard. We the people rant about it because the politicians are saying, the reason why impeachment can't work is because other politicians can use it against other politicians. No. The people have to push that first. The people would have to push that first. A politician on the next side can just jump up and want to impeach a next man on the next side without the people and a percentage of the people. And we don't have nothing much Dervan, away from having those two pieces of
legislation
at our disposal.
Well, we've been hearing for years now that it's going to happen, but I don't know if there's any hope left where those two pieces
Dervan,
of legislation
them not go
are
want to
concerned.
do. Them not go want to do, Dervan. Them not go want to do because them know say if them and we the people have to make them know say if them not do it the way or we want it, it doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense because we are still have whereby when we like say feel the brunt of the storm, right, Dervan, we the people, our house get teared down and blow away, and when the funding come from the different.
Hold a moment. Let's give you an opportunity we'll give you an opportunity to wrap after this break. Please hold.
Yeah.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:13. Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pastor, with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Call in or text in and have great discussions with Dear Pastor as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. We note the attempt by one of our regular listeners to get online has not materialized, wanting to get in touch with, wanting to participate in the discussion. And that is Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Feel free to call us back, Albert. In the meantime, though, with the caller who is on now, please, let's see if we can wrap the discussion shortly.
Wrapping up now, Dervan. Just
Yes.
wrapping up now.
Yes.
Yeah, about this hurricane catastrophe insurance fund, right?
Mhm.
When this fund here is released, because this hurricane is category 4, so chances are that maybe the government may get it, because the stipulation is that it have to be of a magnitude of category 4 or upward more, like 5.
Yes.
And if this funding, which is a big amount, right? When this funding is not the poor people, them ever get the money in them and another Dervan, and you see them also blew away and them and our house gone and winning and we are gonna get it,
That's why we. But that's why we need to insist on checks. We need to insist.
And a wholly more private sector people are gonna get their money there. And we, the poor people, all we may get out it is like a little 20,000 and a little 10,000 or so. The vast majority of the money they are going private sector.
Yeah, well, this is why we need to have checks and balances.
Dervan, you know when I talk about the money now going we the poor people now go feel the money there. And no said because the stipulation said are the people them supposed to get the money. But
so who would be doing that? Who would be who would be the ones to package and present the money? Who is going to do that?
Dervan from first it damn bad, Dervan from first, because a study I've done, and it is done years ago, and it point and say every single Jamaican should be a millionaire with the vast amount of resources where we have. Every Jamaican should get at least 3 million in a them bank account. Long time. Long time. Government should that just put 3 million in everybody bank account.
So on what
easy.
On what basis? That's just to say this is some money because you've been suffering as a people. Here's some money. Do the best you can with it. Is that kind of situation?
Me I have a could stand off, because
no, we don't need to have a standoff. We're having a conversation. You can't lose it at this stage, man. You can't lose it at this stage.
May I tell you, dopey story. The
No.
last time I tell you, say, make a study do a study on the PIOJ, and I never do it.
No, I don't have any resources. I don't have any resources.
No, all you have to do is just go and Google and just follow it up.
Oh, you said make a study.
Yeah. Because when this funding come, it is not just hospital alone. It is for going on the hospital and not get it. People, so same way like all them I look about the needs. There is way out. Them can just put money in a people account. The government can just put money in a people account. And it's the same way like when COVID did that come and you see the people them line up arena get the 10,000 and the thing free. Same way them can line up the people them and give them check. And said this check here cannot change, lodge it and them look them say the tree with 11 zero lodge it in our account. Same way them can do it. Same way Dervan, and me I go end right there because I don't want to get myself in no more trouble and get you in a none. So
no worries.
We just go and listen and here's nobody there I go say Ray Arte. So Dervan laugh. So we know say I got where they
But you're not gonna get away from that. If people want to say Ray, they're gonna say Ray. If they want to say T or Nay, they're gonna say it.
Yeah, the truth must be told because this is both sides of the story.
That's right.
This is both the award winning both sides of the story.
You're too kind.
Winning.
I hear you.
So Dervan, just continue with the show. Every day we are gonna make that show greater. Okay, sir.
I hear you, sir. Thank you very much for the interest. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the call.
Okay, sir.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Dervan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, boy.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you loud and clear. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Man.
I spoke too soon. Hello? Hello? What's happening here? Let's see. Maybe the same connection problems. Hello?
You hear me now?
Yes, hearing you now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my Bluetooth kind of touch it sometime. It's I don't know. There's too much technology. I was saying a lot of Jamaicans could have $3 million in their bank account if they don't drink, smoke, and party.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can't stop people from doing what they want to do, but at the same time, not everybody gonna have that desire to save and don't go to party and drink and smoke. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then some people too don't want to work hard. They want the money, but they don't want to work for it. That's the next problem I find.
Mm-hmm.
They want the money, but they don't want to work for it. Yeah, I find that a common assault in Jamaica, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. A year or two, by the way,
Yeah.
But the American system have broken out of these people very bad. So they want the money, and they will come and beg for the job, but they don't really want to work. Do you find that? Do you find that so in Jamaica, Dervan?
I've never really stopped to pay attention to those shenanigans.
Yeah,
But
but I'm pretty
know that you have brought it to my attention. I'll pay attention.
yeah, man. Here too, by the way, so I'm not just Jamaica. That's a cultural thing here. A lot of these people they want the money, but no work.
Yeah,
Uh,
there are other countries as well where they're happy that they're getting a check or cash. I don't know how they do it, but a check or
yeah,
cash uh, every month or every 2 weeks or whatever.
right.
Mm.
So just let a gentleman know that a lot of people would have got a lot more than $300 if they start saving very young, want to work, get. And by the way, education is crucial. Trade, but fundamental. We call it they call it the 3 R's: reading, writing, and
Reading.
arithmetic.
Hmm.
Right. Very very crucial. Can't stress that no more. And then further your education by go to university or get a good trade. And by the way, the days when you're saying, the boy I done is gonna learn a trade. Those days are done and gone, Dervan.
That's right.
Done and gone. Yeah. The trade now is, you need to be, you should be certified, right? And I would like for Jamaica to develop a certification system, Dervan, that when you're certified in Jamaica, you can go anywhere in the world with a certificate and get a
But
job.
there is such a system. That's through Heart NSTA Trust.
I yeah. So from my experience, I've dealt with an electrician in Jamaica. He said he's certified. I don't know, more than once.
Yes, man. Once you get that from Heart NSTA Trust, you can go all over the
Yeah,
world with it. It takes
yeah,
you.
but
Mm.
the workmanship, Dervan, is not up to code. Is not up to code.
Well, that boils
Or
down to an
uh,
individual. That's an individual issue.
or they could, well, maybe one thing I've learned, they like to cut a lot. They like to make a lot of shortcut because they know you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. So they'll make a lot of shortcut than you just to get the job done very quick. Well, that's
So
probably
in
the main
that
problem.
case, we need
Yeah,
to ensure that they there's a quality assurance unit or appointed representative for that particular unit where you do an extra check on each of the potential
one of the problem in Jamaica,
mm,
what I found out, well, and this goes by municipal, by the way. A lot of municipal people, they don't go around and do checks and checks and checks. So they relied on the tradesmen to carry out most of the work, and that's part of the problem. So for example, when you're decking your deck, the municipal is supposed to come and inspect it before you cast the decking. Your foundation is supposed to get inspected. All these things supposed to get inspected. They didn't know that.
no man, that goes without saying.
Right. Well, a lot of times the inspection is not being done.
That's why we have to have checks and balances, as I keep saying.
Right. So that's part of the problem.
Mm.
Anyhow, I didn't call for that one, but since I generally was talking about it, people should have $3 million in their account. I figured I'd throw that in there.
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
No problem.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Are you looking for a powerful platform to promote your business in North America or the UK? Look no further than The Gleaner. Reach the diaspora and ignite brand awareness through our geo-targeted publications. Call 876-922-3400 or your Gleaner representative to explore the available options and book your ads. Or email us at advertising@gleanerjm.com. Actualize your brand's potential today with The Gleaner, where life unfolds.
But I'm sure someday you'll understand. We can all be better together.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. Please continue.
I don't run this again. So one of the reasons I'm calling, I think Steve from Toronto was saying yesterday that the coverage in the hurricane wasn't adequate enough, and I agree with him. I can't believe that. I think I've seen it in the midday news from the YouTube clipping that we're just gonna have a press conference with the telecom companies, and the hurricane went by Jamaica Wednesday the day, right? And I would expect that by at least Thursday morning or Thursday sometime, we'll have a press conference with the telecom companies and the major, and also with the roads and stuff like that. Of course, you're not going to know exactly everything, but at least give an update of what they know so far.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I think every station that is licensed should have to carry that down, should have to carry that press conference, so that people get everything, they get it at one spot. And in West, Mobile is a city. And I've heard nothing coming out of Mobile, very little. RGR News, RGR people, they don't have a correspondent doing Mobile anymore, so Dervan.
I'm not that involved with the entity, but there is at least one correspondent per parish, if not more. They have correspondents right across the country.
Okay, so why are we not hearing more, like, I'm not saying probably not, I mean, there should be a location that they can go and probably have some, I don't know, some kind of way to communicate back with the base. I don't know. I'm not in the media, but I was just pretty sure that if telephones are down, you should have some other way that you can communicate back.
Yeah, naturally, there's supposed to be a level of leadership in deciding who is dispatched where, when, how, why, and all the make sure all the boxes are checked, so to speak, so that you end up making informed decisions, which will be to the benefit of the people.
Right. So if you had a car that office in Mobile, they should have generator, backup generator, have a satellite, can have satellite phone now, where you could do satellite calling. So you don't have to go to cell towers.
Mm-hmm.
Our suspects, stuff like that should be in place.
Yeah, well.
So they can report back to the media, and the Prime Minister, the relevant authority can inform the people more. Water, for example, why we want to shut the water off? By now, the water pump should have a backup generator. So if the water is not contaminated, it's tested, is not contaminated.
Well, it's called turbidity. It's called turbidity that influences or impacts the quality or lack thereof of the water.
No. I'm saying there's some areas, it is certain circumstances where the water is not, the quality is not good enough to pump to it. But if it's good, if it's it maybe cannot be drink, so you want the public to drink the water. But there are people who can get it up or boil it and then use it. So, but pretty much all the pumping stations should have a backup generator.
I don't know that they don't have. I've never inquired into that, so I don't know that they don't have.
I'm in the city. I'm in the town here, and when light gone, I don't get no water. So I know that for sure. Or if it's light gone for an extended period of time. At one point there was a problem with the transformer and the water cut off. I know that one it doesn't have one. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, this is the point I'm making. You have to put things in place, and these things does not cost a whole lot of money. Now these things are just a will, okay? A will. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. I mean, a backup generator, for example, for a pump, maybe run, maybe you can get one for probably 10,000 US, okay? I mean, 10,000 US, yes, it's a decent sum of money, but for a population of say serving 10,000 people, that's not asking for too much. Are you putting back in their bill? I mean, you're billing them a little bit more. If you have to bill them a little bit more, you bill them a little bit more if you have to. Well, I'm pretty sure if you spread $10,000 amongst 10,000 people, it's $1 per person. $1 US per person. So a lot of these things just take a will, man. So if your light gone and you have water, at least you have water. You have one of them. And communication again is vital. So everybody should have a little radio, especially if there's not a prone for hurricane. A radio that uses battery, right? You can get up-to-date information, and the government should put in this information out there. Local, probably go a local station that can broadcast local news. I don't know. I just think that we can do more on that front, government. And I agree with Steve in Toronto there.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see how it all unfolds. Going forward.
Have a nice weekend, by the way.
You too. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Norman Hines tells us it's a rainy day in St. Thomas. Thank you for that weather update, Norman Hines. Blessed afternoon to you too. Thank you for your message. Valerie Weller-Peck, thanks for joining us. Jeannie Chambers is greeting us as well. Welcome, Jeannie Chambers. Good to have you on board both sides of the story here on Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And Mr. Franklin McDonald says, I sent you the link so that, where is it? Where does it start? Here we go. I sent you the link so that Jamaica Information Service online platform. Many of your listeners do not seem to be aware that the GIS is a source of rehab information about what the government is doing. It may have a change of sympathetic coverage of the current administration, but this must be an error, but in the platform are not very reliable. Okay, Mr. McDonald, thank you for your message. David Crossburn says, hello, Dervan, blessings to you and all your listeners. In my neighborhood, there is a broken light pole. The one beside the broken pole is numbered 01053325. That's 01053325. Kindly contact JPS on this for me, says David Crossburn. This is in Inverness Gardens, Palmer's Cross, Clarendon. All right, let's see if we can forward And indeed, we're going to forward the information to our friends at the Jamaica Public Service Company and see what they are able to do in this regard. So we are doing that right now. There we go. So we are sending, we just forwarded that message from our WhatsApp to the representative of the JPS. So let's see how that goes. Here's another one. Good day, Mr. Malcolm. I am living, I think we read this one already. We have forwarded this message of yours. Anyway, we have forwarded it to the Jamaica Public Service Company via WhatsApp. All right. Let us know how it goes. And this one from the listener who goes by the name Bunty, we can't play without auditioning the recording. So sorry about that. And Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, good afternoon. Can you imagine what people have to go through in days gone by when they have a hurricane at sea and don't have any device to detect a hurricane? But in these modern times, we can know ahead of time, and we can also tell when a government Okay. All right, Spider. Thank you very much for your message, and all the best to you. And let's continue. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So let's see who else is messaging us. This one says, no water and electricity on retreat in St. Thomas. Or do you mean in retreat? No water or electricity in retreat St. Thomas. We're sorry to hear that, and trust that your water will be restored in short order. In the meantime, if you want to add to the matter of the water and electricity and share additional information, please feel free so to do, so that we can sharpen the effectiveness of assisting this listener. But in the meantime, you know how to reach us, and we ask that you use up those channels, and we'll be more than happy to oblige. So let's see. This one says, good day, Dervan. Where did it go? Good day, Dervan. I have no electricity in 6 East Greater Portmore. JPS restored power to my street. However, my house is still without power. Please share with JPS. Thank you. Will do. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Feeling stuck in endless paperwork to secure a small business loan from a bank? At Access Financial Services can unlock your growth with an SME loan. Borrow up to $20 million with easy requirements and fast approvals. Whether you are ready to boost productive capacity, get working capital, or acquire real estate, say goodbye to the hassle and hello to growth. Grow your business with an SME loan up to $20 million from Access Financial Services. Call 876-929-9253 or visit accessfinanceonline.com. Conditions apply.
The words love and peace sound to our ears. Only one thing wrong, my friends. Too many say these words, not enough are sincere. Oh, the words of freedom, liberty stands out in my soul and my mind.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And this message says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Could you please find out what is happening for South Haven, Yallas, St. Thomas? We still have no electricity. My meat is spoiling already." Sorry to hear of your situation. Let's share this information with a representative from the Jamaica Public Service Company, the JPS. And here's another message. "Don't disclose my address, please." No, we wouldn't do that. All right, we see the information and we will pass it on to the representative at the JPS. So hopefully we're not putting too many messages in her mailbox. Okay. All right, so we have received a few responses of those who would like to share their issue via WhatsApp. And so far we have forwarded several messages to a member of the team at the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS. So we continue to take your messages and your calls, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, and the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. David, okay, this is, yeah, we did forward that message already. So we're moving up and down the line to make sure we've cleared all the messages here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we trust that your messages will be taken, and so too your calls, so that you're able to convey whatever message or other information you want to convey. You'll be able to do so in this regard. So we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello to all the pharmacists in Jamaica. It was on this day in 1928 that the Jamaica Pharmacists Association was established with about 15 members. Today, there are more than 750 registered pharmacists in Jamaica. In 1944, the name Jamaica Pharmacists Association was changed to the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, PSJ. The Pharmacy Act was passed 22 years later in 1966, and the Pharmacy Council of Jamaica was set up in 1975. Today, there are more than 380 registered pharmacies in Jamaica. And so we once again say good afternoon to all pharmacists listening to us right now, and especially the handful of pharmacists who work in the public health sector. Did you know that since the abolition of user fees some time ago, there has been, subsequent to that, a 44% increase in the use of public sector pharmacies. And despite the adverse human resource situation, over 2 million visits of patients to public pharmacies have occurred within the 2 years that fell in line with a couple of the statements we shared with respect to the pharmacists. So this is especially important as the Ministry of Health has increased its allocation of resources for the purchase of pharmaceuticals and medical sundries by 167%. Again, the information is dated, but not far from where we are right now. Over the last 20 years, the number of persons accepted for training to become pharmacists at the University of Technology has increased almost threefold, we were told. However, the shortage of pharmacists in the public sector persists due to the unsatisfactory remuneration and working conditions. Of the 150 established posts for registered pharmacists in the Ministry of Health, only 45 have been occupied for several years. And finally, just for your information, the word pharmacist or pharmacy, the word pharmacy derives from the Greek pharmakon, Pharmacon, meaning drug or medicine. The root word pharma, Pharma, was a term used since the 15th to 17th centuries. In addition to pharma responsibilities, the pharma offered general medical advice and a range of services that are now performed solely by other specialist practitioners, such as surgery and midwifery. The pharma, as it was referred to, often operated through a retail shop, which, in addition to ingredients for medicines, sold tobacco and patent medicines. The farmers also used many other herbs not listed. Just sharing that with you. Thank you very much for your indulgence. And now we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's see what else we have for you here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And a gentleman by the name of Hugh Small was born in Kingston on this day in 1941, the son of Ronald and Anne Small. On this day in 1946, French designer Louis Réard unveiled a daring two-piece swimsuit at the Piscine Molitor, a popular swimming pool in Paris. Parisian showgirl Micheline Bernardini modeled the new fashion, which Réard dubbed bikini, inspired by a news-making U.S. atomic test that took place off the Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean earlier that week. Soon after the two tests that took place off the Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean earlier that week, we said, soon after the two 1946 atomic bomb tests at Bikini Atoll in the North Pacific, a French couturier created L'Atom, the world's smallest bathing suit. This was supposed to compare the obvious and powerful effect of the atom bomb test and the effect on men of women wearing bikinis. However, French designer Louis Réard outdid L'Atom with his bikini, named after the atoll and smaller than the smallest bathing suit in the world. Bikini caught on, L'Atom did not. Since then, we have had the string and the thong, even briefer than the bikini, so brief that an America slang synonym for it is something another floss. So the bikini was unveiled on this day in 1946 at La Piscine Molitor. Piscine is the French word for swimming pool. And a popular swimming pool in Paris. Almost 8 years later, on July 17, 1954, Copacabana Beach Club on the road from Kingston to Bull Bay was the scene of the wearing in Jamaica of the first bikini bathing suit in public by model Rose Lynn in a fashion show of beachwear on July 17, 1954. So 8 years after the first public showing of the bikini in Paris, Jamaica's first public bikini bathing suit was modeled by Rose Lynn in Copacabana Beach Club in St. Andrew on July 17, 1954. European women first began wearing two-piece bathing suits that consisted of a halter top and shorts in the 1930s. But only a sliver, only a sliver of the midriff was revealed, and the navel was vigilantly covered. In the United States, the modest two-piece made its appearance during World War II, when wartime rationing of fabric saw the removal of the skirt panel and other superfluous material.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now 4:15. Both sides of the story.
Confidence of those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have quietly and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of many Jamaicans at home and across the world. Power 106 FM, in playing its part in showcasing those individuals who served in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stalwarts. Listen to Service Stalwarts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of a story. Now, maybe you can't see my need, you can't see my dream, but I'm sure someday you'll understand. We can all be better if we get it together. And if we get you, sing it with me. Oh, my dream come true for me and for you. Dream the impossible dream. I have a dream. I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream. I have a dream that someday this will be a better life.
We just had coming to hand here a flyer from the JPS. Here is where we are working today. So it's an outline of where they're working today. Let me see if it's dated. The year is 24 and the day is 7. The 7th month, I beg your pardon. Working for you 24/7, working for you. That's essentially what they're saying. Customers with power over 315,000 or 45% of customers now with supply. So this is what the JPS is telling us for today. Here is where we are working today. And let's tell you the areas. Hanover, that's Lucy, Hanover, Negril, Westmoreland, Reading, St. James, the Friendly City, Montego Bay, Montpellier, that's the correct pronunciation, but it's all right. You can anglicize it and say Montpellier. Bluefields in Westmoreland, Savannah Lamar in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Black River, Trelawney, Albert Town, Falmouth, Duncans, let's see, Mandeville, Manchester, Alligator Pond, Clarendon, Maypen, the Alley, and then come across here and up north to St. Anne, Monigue, Brownstown, Discovery Bay. This looks like, is this Ocho Rios? Ocho Rios, yes. And also St. Catherine, Bogwalk, Spanish Town, Portmore, Old Harbor, and Port Esquivel, Linstead. These are areas served by the JPS today, where their respective crews and teams have been dispatched. And these are the areas. Let's see. In St. Andrew, Halfway Tree, in the corporate area, the combination of St. Andrew and Kingston. So that's Kingston and St. Andrew, of course, merged administratively back in 1923 to form the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, KSAC. Let's see. All right, so let's come across to Portland and Port Antonio, Buff Bay. Did we mention St. Mary? St. Mary's, St. Mary, and in St. Mary, Orocabessa and Anota Bay, and St. Thomas, Morant Bay, Port Morant, and Morant Point. So customers with power, the JPS is telling us more than 315,000 customers. That's 45%, they say, now with supply. And this is what they have done today, the 5th of July, 2024. And they disseminated the information around 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's the time on it. So don't know, those of you listening to us, does any of this information find favor with you? Are you satisfied with the work that has been done already? And have you been seeing practical rolling out of work that needs to be done? Feel free to let us know. But thank you very much, JPS, for telling us how much work you did today. And we trust that your work will continue to be felt for some time to come. Hashtag JPS Operation Restoration. That's also on the flyer, and you can always follow them on Twitter or X. That's what it is now. X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They have it covered, it seems. So thank you very much. And let's see what's on this side here now. This special focus on Clarendon, 24/7, working for you. Where we are working today. Is this another one or is it the same one? It's another one. So this one now focuses on Clarendon, Manchester Avenue. This is JPS sharing with us areas that they have served today. Manchester Avenue, Osborne Store, Clarendon Gardens, and River Road, as well as the Maypen Hospital. So these are areas that have benefited from the work of the Jamaica Public Service Company, the JPS. Let's see if we're missing anything from this flyer. Our teams are working to do repairs in these areas. However, it is possible that only some customers will be restored today. The delay may be due to the extent of the damage in some areas, weather conditions, or safety concerns. But don't worry, we will get to you, says the JPS, when we are able to do so. We're on it, says the JPS. Okay. Thank you very much for that update, JPS. And there is more. There is more. This one here, this was today as well. A lot of ground covered. This was Portland today. They did work in Portland as well today. Sections of Port Antonio Anchovy, Rafters Rest, and surrounding areas. So that's where they have been working today, one of the areas they've been working. And let's see. All right, and we read some of that already. Let's see where else. St. Anne, the parish of St. Anne. Let's see what kind of work was done today and where. Work was done at Mount Olivet, Salem, Mount Olivet, Salem, Flat Point, Bridgewater, Discovery Bay, sections of Roaring River, Miami Bay, Richmond, Cardiff Hall, and surrounding areas, Great Pond, and Breadnut Hill. Civil NWC pump is there's a graphic on this pump, and it's labeled Civil NWC pump. I guess this is one of the resources that they worked on, or one of the systems that they worked on today in St. Anne. And as usual, they say our teams are working to do repairs in these areas. However, it is possible that only some customers will be restored today. The delay may be due to the extent of the damage in some areas, weather conditions, or safety concerns. But don't worry, they say. We will get to you when we are able to do so. We're on it. All right, JPS, thank you very much for that update. And St. Catherine is also being served. The information in terms of the areas worked on today, the 5th of July, 2024, Duhenny, Christian Gardens, Nagohead Square to Bridgeview, Hellshire area, Morris Meadows to Waterford, Passage Fort, Roden's Pen to Old Harbor Bay, Tredegar, McCook's Pen, Lauriston, Gutters, Clifton, and surrounding areas. JPS is telling us that they did work in those communities today. Let's look at St. James now and the work that the Jamaica Public Service Company has been doing today. Sections of Rose Hall, Coral Gardens, Bogue, Great River, Queens Drive, Flankers, and surrounding areas. And that's where we'll have to leave it for the time being. Those are updates from the Jamaica Public Service Company. And we're more than happy to share. We know how desperate it can be in trying to reconnect and to have power in terms of electricity supply and lighting and so on. We know what that is like. It's not a pretty feeling. As Toots and the Maytals sang, "In the dark, there is no light." All right, so we're coming up on another break, and Steve McDonald is messaging us, and we have another message. Oops, I have a bit of information here. Let's go to the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. David G.A. Dixon, how are you? It's been a while. He says, hope you and the family are okay. Be blessed. Thank you very much, David G.A. Dixon. Here is another. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Your caller from New York comes on the program and complains about things in Jamaica. He has mentioned on more than one occasion that 10,000 US dollars is not a lot of money. How about telling us that he is spearheading a fundraising drive to purchase one of these units to help Jamaica, land we love? I think his argument would be more meaningful. And this is coming from Ren, R-E-N. Thank you for your message, Ren, and all the very best. It's out there. And let's see how it is responded to. But that's what it is. And where did we lose that message from? Steve in Toronto, Canada. Where did it go? Missed that message. Feel free to resend the message, Steve. Sorry we missed it. Feel free to resend it. All right, here's some information from, this looks like ODPEM. So it's a public service announcement. ODPEM. All right, I don't like the blurry nature of this transmission. I'd love to get it from someone else or some other entity, just to be sure. Mas Albert is coming through. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Lewis. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm good. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Well, we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah. Let me extend my sympathies to all Jamaicans who suffered at the hands of burial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wish that everybody will recover in the shortest possible time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so say all of us. Yes, go ahead. Oops, what is that?
Go ahead. Yeah, amidst this storm and the chaos that's going on, you know, I understand that folks are anxious to get their services back.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think they should, you know, at least think of what the utilities are going through across the country. You know, I'm listening to the complaints of everyone. It seems like everyone needs attention immediately. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So a lot of patience is needed on everybody's part.
That is true.
You know, as I remember the last hurricane we had, there. With all the resources we have, 3 weeks before I had my power restored. 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine. And here you had utilities from all over the US converging on Florida to help them recover. You can imagine our little country with hardly any resources, our the terrain we have. We need to be realistic,
Yeah.
We need to be realistic.
True.
But one good thing happened here, the services were mobilized very quickly at such short notice because we don't have hurricane this time of the year. So all those situations have to ramp up like overnight. And so far it seems it helps in some areas. What this needs to do though is in the future, 6 months before hurricane season comes, we need to start doing the work. Because actually should never be in that state regardless.
Yes.
Should never be in that state. We need to be more proactive in taking care of our drainage infrastructure. We cannot flood drain anytime. And we've seen it so often. So with that said, let's hope that the recovery gets on, in earnest and smoothly, and people have a little more tolerance in terms of waiting to get it done. I know the desperation is there. However, they can only go so fast. It doesn't matter the amount of money you have. It's going to take manpower and time.
Yeah.
And with our terrain, especially in the rural areas, the mountainous areas, it's rough. I've seen some pictures there, and it's not easy. In my neighborhood, not much physical damage to houses, but the vegetation is like, wow. The light poles, wow. So it's a tough one. So let's hope the recovery gets on, and sooner or later it gets back. And let's hope that no other system passes by, because Dervan, if another one should hit us, just as close as this one, it won't be any fun.
Yes.
And we're in the season. So we all have to be mindful and just be proactive. Start monitoring and taking care of what we can do now to make it better when the next one passes. Not if, but, when.
Yeah.
That's it for today, Sergi.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Good to hear from you as usual.
Yeah, man. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And still taking your feedback on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Feel free to share if you're having particular difficulties one way or another in terms of trying to connect with or contact a family member. We'll be happy to assist, considering the communications challenges now being experienced. And so we stand ready to assist in that regard if needed, just to ensure that Jamaicans at home and abroad, and even at home in whether they're visiting their districts or communities, etc. We don't want a situation where they are unable to connect and to keep relatives and friends and colleagues abreast of where they are and what's happening and how are things. That kind of an inquiry. So feel free to let us know if there's anyone you would like to check upon in a manner that is tastefully executed. In the meantime, we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Para 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we continue. Oh, where is this one now? There's a message that came in. Here we go. Oh, this is a lovely picture. All right, the information here says, and it has the ODPEM logo and the handle at ODPEM, and it says PSA ODPEM issues all clear. The country is asked to stay alert as a tropical wave east of Jamaica is expected to move across the island Friday evening into Saturday, influencing unstable weather, which includes showers and thunderstorms. So that has come through on our radar. And I'm being quizzed by the representative from the Jamaica Public Service Company saying, "Hi, Dervan, thanks for these messages. I know it's difficult. Let me see how much info I can get. By the way, restoration schedule is on our SM pages." What am I missing here? SM pages, what's that? I have to ask one of the younger team members here. SM pages. Oh, SM, social media pages. Yes. And how did you fare? We fared well, thank God. Thank you for asking. And it's good of you to pop up online and that you're able to help us to respond to some of these messages that have been popping up. But I see a lot of work is being done. A lot of work is being done. And we just need to stay focused and play our part insofar as we can and make a difference. How about that? Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Thank you very much. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, "God loves and blessings to you, Dervan." Dervan, I think that the JPS Co needs to stop using manual power for diggings. Things like post holes. What's that? Oh, you mean like for planting the light posts or lamp posts, as they are sometimes called. So I think that the JPSCO, they need to stop using manual power for digging things like post holes, as in the light posts. The manual labor is going to take much too long. Other countries, oops, let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Borough 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Liberty stands out in my soul and my mind. Just come to just as the fire.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. So earlier on, we shared the information from the ODPEM. The country is asked to stay alert as a tropical wave east of Jamaica is expected to move across the island Friday evening into Saturday, influencing unstable weather, which includes showers and thunderstorms. We trust all will be well going forward as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And there's some useful information here. Lots of work. This is from Cordell Williams Graham, CEO, Transformational Life Solutions, telling us lots of work behind me and lots more work ahead. And she goes on to share. Well, we wish her well. We wish her well. Thank you very much for your message. Let's go over now to Toronto, Canada, where Steve McDonald is standing by. Mr. McDonald, good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Just suffering with my people in the forgotten parish of Westmoreland. Now we have no light or no light, no water, no cell service. But we from Lennox because we're accustomed to no light, no water. We're accustomed to Peter Wally back in the days. Anyway, I digress. I see the PM came down, but for some reason forgot that Westmoreland was next door and was also hit by burial. But such is life. You're just talking about the light poles. I remember after a previous hurricane, we had a big discussion about having the electricity in the ground rather than in the poles, on the poles, because of this exact same thing. I don't know if you recall that discussion. I mean, Mark, you probably when Gilbert had, how old were you there, man? 10 or 5?
I had just,
You remember?
I think I had just started first form.
Oh, okay. So you were about, I know that you were early bloomer, so you were about 6-year-old or 7-year-old. You were one of those genius
6 or
child, right?
7? No, no, no.
Okay, okay, okay. I thought I read that you were one of those genius child who started high school at 5 and then went into university at 15, but or somewhere
No.
around there.
Wrong jungle.
But yeah, we had okay, we had a full on conversation, and I remember it was the JPS was looking having the power lines buried because we so happened that we were having hurricanes on a regular basis, and so someone figured that okay, not having them on poles would be a good idea, but as you know, with most good ideas, they're buried in the cemetery, so nothing became of it. But yeah, probably something that we look back on because it appears that we're still going to have hurricanes, and based on what we saw, the hurricane are still going to blow down the light poles, right? I'm presuming, but you know what, Dervan, we need some Calabar people up there to be making these decisions because yeah. I think we need some Calabar and some managed people there to be leading the charge because I can't see why they can't have the electricity wire on the ground and to avoid what we're having now. One other question I asked in the chat was, do you know how the hospitals are getting electricity?
Theirs might very well be on a different grid or
well, even
component.
if it's on a different grid, all the poles were blown down. I don't think.
I'm not sure about all of them.
Well, most of the poles were blown down. I don't think. So even if it's on a different grid, meaning a different line, I don't think they would have been spared from that. Or I guess most of them have standby generators, which would be good. I hope that is the case, that they have standby generators that at least is provided. I haven't heard anyone mention anything about them. I haven't heard anything being mentioned. I heard that most of Westmoreland is still without electricity. So
before time runs out, let me just run through the questions that you have here. Please ask JPS and Digicel and Flow when service will be restored in Westmoreland. Please tell that. Yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
Please tell them that Westmoreland is next door to Hanover and St. Elizabeth. They can drive from St. James to Westmoreland, the forgotten parish. Dervan, I am curious how the hospitals are managing, considering that light is out. Do they have generators? I would like to think they do.
Yeah, I haven't heard it mentioned, so I was just wondering, because a lot of time we take things for granted, and you know, they're suffering. But even on general staffing too, like I haven't heard anyone call anyone and ask them from the hospital administrators how they're managing where this is concerned, because I would think that the roads being blocked and so forth. I remember my mom, who was a nurse at a South hospital, when there was Gilbert, because she was living in South, she was able to walk up. But, you know, they didn't have light and all of that for a long while. So I'm just curious. It would be, I'm finding that we haven't really covered that part in terms of what's happening on that side. So it would be a good human interest story. All right, Dervan, I see that you're close to time, so I want to consider it and don't take up any more of your time. And just give a special shout out to my peeps in Westmoreland, for those who can hear. All right, all the best. Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care. Quickly, let's see if we can go through a few more of these messages. Thank you very much, Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. Patrick Howell says, Dervan, thanks to the hardworking JPS team who are working tirelessly to restore electricity to the nation. Sometimes we overlook these people and pay attention to politicians and preachers. Thank you for your message, Patrick Howell. Lily White says, I want to convey my congratulations to JPS workers. We have no light in Junction St. Bess. Don't know when it will be back, but God take them safely through. And JM Master Songwriter says, I am Miss B. Greetings, Mr. Malcolm. Greetings to you too. The listener who goes by the moniker The Bronc 9 says, good evening, Dervan Malcolm. In situations like these, the JPS should be working 24/7 to try and restore power to communities. These are emergency conditions. Thank you for your message. Lily White goes on to say, Lord, have mercy on those who have no roof in these trying times. The Bronc 9 says, at Dervan Malcolm, just saw a YT video of the devastation in the Treasure Beach area. So many poles down. And let's see if we can get in a couple more. This one. Yeah, I think this one from Travelers Group. No, that's a news network. All right, so looks like we are just about getting ready to wrap up today's edition of Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 5th of July, 2024. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5, and tomorrow morning, if you're able to get up that early to listen to the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. But we thank Adrian Reed for doing technical duties behind the scenes. And thanks to our other members of the behind the scenes crew. Thank you very much. And all things being well, as we said, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. But of course, if you're able to join us between 6 and 9 in the morning, that would be good of you. And thanks once again to our team. And well done. Well done. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Hope you can get some rest. And you'll be ready to go again thereafter. Take care.
Stands out in my soul and my mind. Just come to just as a blind. I have a dream that someday for our children this will be. I mean, you can't see my dream. You can't see my dream. I'm so someday.
Bye.
You're listening to